All right, so I'm in my Courseau dashboard and I'm going to go ahead and click create. So in the next few steps, I'm going to be asked a series of questions that are inspired by instructional design best practices that basically consolidate all the steps an instructional designer would take when making a course over the course of, like, let's say many days or even weeks, and just summarizing that in a few key steps. So the first question we're being asked is, what is our course about? In this case, our course is about safe operation of scissor lifts, I believe. Yes?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. And this is going to fall into, I believe, let's say onboarding. And so next up, who is a target learner for course? And this step is quite important because it does help our system understand how complex it should be. It could be as granular as you want. So you can talk about even the person's name and that'll show up in the course if you're making it for one person, or you can make it quite broad and just say, like, let's say a product manager or something like that. So in our case, we can keep it kind of, simple. What's something we can say
Yeah,
here?
I think a first-time renter. So we designed the course for people who needs to take a bit more steps and understand the entire process.
Got it. So I'll press next. And here we're being asked about our learning outcomes. So this is a really important step that really helps send the course in a particular direction. So we really want to focus on what our audience should be able to do or know by the end of the course. Our system has already generated a number of ideas based on your course topic as well as your learner profile. So out of all these options, you can pick something, or of course, you can always type your own. So I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and add a couple that I feel make sense. Like the first one.
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Cool. And then I'll add this one as well, just for good measure. So now we have 2 learning outcomes that the course will be able to adhere to. We'll click next. And here we are able to add any relevant sources. So this would, we support quite a variety of formats, including PowerPoints, videos, and so on. But I've already been sent a couple of pieces of documents, so I will just add those here straight from my computer. I've got a PDF that is quite a dense manual, I believe, and I'll also add a link about scissor lifts.
So how do you handle the documents?
Sure. So we have a custom-built AI system consisting of actually multiple LLMs that we stitch together that perform various tasks at different steps, and we're able to index a number of different formats. As you can see, you can upload multiple different types of documents as well as in all kinds of lengths. So then the system is able to find the most relevant pieces of content and stitch those together, bringing them into sort of a cohesive course output. And all of our generations, and as well as the synthesizing, is based on instructional design best practices, such as Bloom's taxonomy, for example. And yeah, so we take learning principles into account in all of this process. Our AI models working in the background are just like hyper focused, or let's say, hyper specialized for learning design.
And this is taken instructional designers hours and hours, whether through conversations with subject matter experts and reading through the documents to try to extract this. So what you see here is condensing, hours, days worth of work into a matter of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. One thing that's important to say, we're going to just make it in English because I don't think you two know Norwegian. But if I do want it in Norwegian, is that an option?
Yeah, of course. So even if your input content is in a totally different language, like Norwegian, you're still able to make the output in English, and vice versa, of course. And feel free to select whatever language here, because in the end, you can actually create multiple copies of your course in whatever language you would like. So there's really no limitations when it comes to language.
That is very cool. Cool.
And once this is done generating, it takes about 1 minute. Once it's done generating, you would click the next button, and that would take you to the complete course, basically. So all of your content will be generated. There will be images that are automatically extracted from your input content. if there were any, for example, and then you can share them from SCORM or from just like a link or embedding into your website, whatever you choose.
Yeah, so now we're seeing it being generated, and
so I'll start with the cover page here, since the other lessons are still in the generation process. Quickly show you what it looks like to, for example, edit an image. So this image was pulled from a royalty-free image website. You can use that, or you can upload your own images. You can add stock images from this list just by searching something, or you can use one of the source images that came with your uploads. So in this case, our uploads didn't actually include that many source images. I think in the link there was like 2 pictures only. So this was all that we were able to bring up. If you had a more dense image or upload, then of course there would be a lot more to choose from. So now we can go into one of our lessons, which I finished generating. So this is what they look like straight out of the box. Of course, you can add all kinds of customizations. Here is an example of a little quiz that's embedded. For example, you can click one of these questions and you would already have a AI generated response, and you can edit all of this, of course.
And how is it this a part of like the learning experience? Because you know, in the normal manual we will just read, but here you get questions along the way.
Yeah, so we definitely add a bit of interactivity into the mix, and that includes, you know, questions like this, or we have like true or false. We have these cards that you can play around with. So for example, this could be good for remembering definitions. It could also just be for, you know, a so-called quiz for you to see the answer right away. But yeah, there's quite a few interactive elements that we have in development. We have open answer, we have polls, and like so many others that are coming. So right now, this is what we're working with. You also have a key takeaway at the end of every lesson. You don't have to keep it, of course. You can always delete all of these cards if you wish. So let me quickly show you how to do a little edit. At any point, you just press enter, you press the slash key, and you would get this menu. And this would allow you to do things like embed a video. Like, let's say I wanted to add this video from the link that I was sent, or that you sent me. I would just go ahead and do that, and it would be automatically embedded. It's really quite simple in that way. What else?
Very cool. And
yeah,
you know, we're also going to showcase some AI audio tools as well, and I have tested it already, and I saw that you can also embed audio file.
Yeah, so all of our courses come with audio. So this is all AI generated, but it sounds very natural.
Introduction to scissor lifts. Scissor lifts, core concepts. This lesson introduces the fundamental components.
Yeah, so even if it's AI generated, I think it's really quite good. You can change the speed here. You can download the whole course as a playlist if you like. Some of the features I'm most excited about are going to be around personalization. So we talked earlier about making, for example, examples hyper-personalized. So it doesn't infringe on the content that the person needs to learn, but more so the example being something that they can relate to. And so for this part, everyone can have their own little version if that's what you want to deliver. We also have customized like learning paths. So let's say you can challenge the course at the beginning and you can skip to a certain point based on your responses to quizzes. We can guide you to a different point in the course. You'd still learn everything, but you'd be able to learn it in a customized way and following your own like interests potentially, and following your own background and knowledge and interests.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, both Ro and Julia. It's been great to hear your takes.